Hey y'all, welcome to Sally's Southern Keto Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a red, white, and blue angel food cake trifle for y'all. Okay, so we're going to start first by making our angel food cake. Right now we're whipping 12 egg whites, and you'll need to get them to this frothy state right here. And then you're going to add a little bit of cream of tartar. Cream of tartar is going to help stiffen up the egg whites and give them a little bit of structure. So let them all get mixed in there really, really well. And whenever the egg whites start coming up to some soft peaks, then we're going to start slowly adding in our sugar. The kind of sugar that we're using, since we're on keto, is going to be called Swerve confectioner's sugar. And then we're also going to put in a little bit of granulated Truvia. It's going to be about 3/4 cup of Swerve confectioner's to 1/4 cup of Truvia. Watch your egg whites and make sure they get a little frothy like that, and then start slowly adding. Probably add maybe like 1 to 2 tablespoons at a time. And you're just going to keep on adding that until about half of your sugar is completely added in. Okay, so whenever you have about half your sugar added in and you're seeing the frothy eggs are starting to get a little more stiff, then you add in your vanilla and your almond extracts. That'll be 1 teaspoonful of each. Then continue adding in your sugar in like 1 to 2 tablespoon increments at a time. And you're going to keep on beating this with your mixer until you start to get a little bit stiffer peaks. Now all of your sugar is added in, and you're just going to keep on beating these eggs and your sugar until your eggs come up to stiff peaks. You'll be able to take your beaters out of the egg whites, and you'll see the stiff peaks. They'll be able to stand up on their own. We'll show you here in just a minute when we get to that stage. Okay, now this is starting to come together really well, and you can see the peaks are starting to stand up a little bit better whenever you lift your beaters out of the eggs. You don't want to overwork your egg whites, but you do want them to be strong enough to stand up and have firm peaks. Okay, now we're going to sift in our dry ingredients. You're just going to sift enough over the top to dust it, and you're going to fold it in. What we have in our dry ingredients, it's almond flour, xanthan gum, guar gum, and a half a scoop of Isopure unflavored protein powder. And you just want to gently fold that in, sift some lightly over the top surface, and then gently fold it into your egg whites. Be careful not to deflate your egg whites. Okay, now take your mixture and put it into an angel food cake pan. It is important to use an angel food cake pan and not a bundt pan. An angel food cake pan will allow the egg whites to climb the sides of the pan. A bundt pan or tube pan will not work. Also, do not grease your pan. The insides of an angel food cake pan are made with tiny ridges, and those tiny ridges allow the egg whites to have something to cling on to so that they can climb up and inflate. Your egg whites are your leavening agent, your thing that causes your cake to rise in this particular cake. Do not thump this cake on the counter to cause the batter to fold down in there. Just spoon it around with your spatula and make a flat surface on the top. If you pound it down on the cabinet to fill those little holes up and make your cake settle in, it will deflate it, and you will have a flat angel food cake. Okay, now that you have all of your egg white batter put in here, you want to take a knife or some flat smooth object and just work like a serpentine or snake type pattern through there to let all the batter kind of go in and flow into the holes and stuff. I also like to wipe off the edges of my pan so that it does not set up a fire in my oven. Now we go to the oven for 40 minutes at 375 degrees. Now the second part of our trifle is going to be a homemade whipping cream, and this is 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. It needs to be very cold. And then to that 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Swerve confectioner sugar, 1 tablespoon of Truvia, which is a stevia and erythritol blend. And then we'll add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Use pure vanilla extract. And now we're going to blend this with the hand mixer until it becomes whipped cream. I start it on one of the lower speeds and kind of get it going good so that it doesn't splash out all over me, and it starts getting the sugar incorporated really well. And then as it thickens up a little bit more, I'll bump the speed up to like medium high to high, and then just continue to whip this until it turns into whipped cream. You do not want to over whip your cream or you will have butter. Okay, now we're starting to get into whipped cream territory. This is where you really want to pay attention to your texture, how it feels. Check it with your fingers, see how it tastes. This would be the time to add or adjust any flavors that you might want to add, like maple extract or something like that. But you really want to pay attention to your texture here, because if you go much farther than this, you're going to end up with butter. This is the consistency of whipped cream that you're looking for. And now we're going to be ready to put together our trifle. So as you can see, our angel food cake came out perfect, wonderful and light. So we're going to cut our cooled cake up, and then we're going to tear it up and put it in a nice dish. Use like a plastic or a glass dish so that you can see through it and show it off a little bit. So now take your cake and just gently break it up into bite-sized pieces. Okay, so now we're going to add in some raspberries. I prefer raspberries. I'm allergic to strawberries, so we're going to, for our red part of this red, white, and blue trifle, use raspberries. I'm coating it in just a little bit of Swerve confectioner sugar so that the juices will be clinging to that instead of melting down into the cake and making it all soggy. You want to put quite a bit of raspberries in there so that you can see it through the sides of your dish. Okay, now we're going to put some whipped cream on top of our raspberries and spread it around a little bit. Put some whipped cream on the top of there and spread it around to the sides. Now we're going to put our second layer of angel food cake on, and just do it the same way as we did before. Break up the pieces and put them on the top of the whipped cream. And then now we're going to add in the blue part of our trifle, which today we're going to be using blackberries. Our family likes blackberries. You could also use blueberries here for your blue part. And we're going to treat them the same way that we did the raspberries, by putting some Swerve confectioner sugar on there. Okay, now just add these blackberries onto the top of your angel food cake and layer it on there to where you can see the blackberries through the outside of the trifle dish. And then we'll come back in after we get these in here with a little more whipped cream. Okay, now we're going to put the rest of this little whipped cream on top of this trifle and make it look beautiful. And then we'll come back in with a couple of berries and make a little pattern on the top in red, white, and blue for the 4th of July. Because this is for the 4th of July, I decided I'm going to make a little star, or kind of a little star. Don't laugh at my star, y'all. But I like red, white, and blue. My birthday is July the 9th, and I thought my birthday was the 4th of July for most of my life because my granny and two of my cousins had their birthday on the 4th of July, one, and on the 9th of July, the other. So we always celebrated on the 4th. And I hope that this trifle will be as much of a fun treat at your house as it is at ours. Thank you again for tuning in to Sally's Southern Keto Kitchen, and we hope to see you back here again soon. Be sure and like, share, and subscribe if you like our videos.